So I'm curious to know what people understand about mindfulness and what your experience is, if you're happy to share. Keely, you look like you're about to unmute yourself. Is that right? No.
Okay. Well, in my mind, the mindfulness is about your awareness, being
Mhm.
aware of what's going on in your mind.
Okay. And if anyone would like to share any experience they've had with mindfulness, whether you've done it on an app, through it with an app, or just um, even if you've done this course before, just let me know. Otherwise, we're just going to go ahead. Thank you, Keela. So this course was designed specifically for this particular tradition that we're in, which is the Tibetan Buddhist tradition from His Holiness the Dalai Lama. So they're doing it in terms of in the context of Lama Tsongkhapa's definition of mindfulness. So Lama Tsongkhapa is very 13th century philosopher, highly intelligent. And his definition of mindfulness is based on the explanation by Arya Asanga in his compendium of knowledge. So it's not just, so this is kind of ancient knowledge here. So what is mindfulness? In regard to a familiar object, your mind is not forgetful and operates without distraction. So this implies that mindfulness has three features. One, its observed object is a familiar object, since mindfulness does not occur with regard to a previously unfamiliar object. Two, its subjective aspect or manner of apprehension is your mind's not forgetting the object, as indicated by the phrase, your mind is not forgetful, which is kind of what Kier was saying. In this case, it is your mind's non-forgetfulness of the object of meditation. And three, its function to keep your attention from wandering from the object of meditation. And there's also an additional, like mindfulness has a way of apprehending its object with a sense of certainty. So this is just, probably all of this sounds familiar, but this is just specific to this particular tradition. So it's not kind of all new agey. And but before we start, what I would really like to do is show you, recently I was in Nepal leading this Laudo trek. And there's a wonderful store in Ramboda called Enlightenment. So I want to share this web page with you because I did actually buy a copy of this tanka. I find it very inspiring. And this is called The 9 Progressive Stages of Meditation. Oop. 9 progressive stages of mental development, the 6 powers of study, contemplation, memory, comprehension, diligence, and perfection. So, most of us are down here. This is the monk holding a little kind of a gourd, has a gourd in one hand, and what's he got there? Looks like an axe. Let's get to it. So the Tibetan word for samatha means calm, and it develops the ability to focus the mind in single point equipoise or perfect concentration. It's often practiced in a secluded place, adopting the, adopting the 7-point meditation posture of Varachana, which I will go through in a minute. It's the first place to start. Where these. So we start with the power of study. So the monk shown here is holding a hooked gourd and a lasso, which represent the clear understanding and the mindful collection and the recollection. And the elephant represents the mind, and its black color represents mental dullness, which we all experience often when we're meditating. And then the monkey is the distraction or mental agitation, and it's also black in color. And you can see that the monkey's leading the elephant down the path, and then here, poor old us running after it, not in control at all. And this stage is achieved through the power of study or hearing. So the monk fixes his mind on the object of concentration, and he's depicted chasing the elephant with his lasso and hooked gourd, and the monkey runs wildly leading the elephant. And so this flame here indicates how much effort is required to bring your mind under control. So I think we can all relate to that. I think this is probably where I'm going to just be for the rest of my life, just in this little section here. Next, we have the power of concentration. So this stage is attained through the power of concentration and lengthening the period of concentration on the object. So there are 5 sense object offerings: the silk touch, the fruits taste, the conch smell, the symbol sound, and the mirror sight. And these are objects of distraction, which we all know. So here in the West, our objects of distraction are Facebook, notifications coming across your screen, the phone calling you, somebody in the other room, someone making coffee, just any old shiny object that we will take us away from our concentration. We just happy to go there. So the elephant and the monkey begin to turn white from their heads, which shows the continuous progress in fixing and holding the object of concentration. And you'll notice the flame is getting a little smaller, which means it's requiring less effort. So, all this indicates to me really is that, I mean, we're still chasing behind, we're still behind here. But what it indicates to me is that over time and with practice and with continuous commitment, you can achieve control over the mind. It is possible. And so then we have this power of memory, stages 3 and 4. And these stages are attained through the power of memory and recollection. And the meditator here hold the clear and detailed conception of the object. So what you'll see is the monk has finally lassoed the elephant and fixes the wandering mind of the object. And the hare has now appeared on the elephant's back, representing the more subtle aspect of sinking or mental torpor. So you may notice, if you've ever done any meditation, how you sort of sometimes fall asleep. You think you've had a wonderful meditation, but actually you've had probably a really good sleep because your mind has not been sharp. It's got quite dull. And the elephant, all the elephant, monkey, and the hare are looking back, having recognized the objects of mental distraction. You'll also notice they're changing color, the head of the elephant's now becoming white. So the mind is less dull, and you'll see the flames are a little smaller again. So the power of comprehension, stage 5 and 6, this is attained by absorbing the power of clear comprehension. The monkey now follows the elephant. The monk hooks the elephant with his goad, which shows that the mind has stopped from wandering. So, stages 5 and 6, that's fairly high up. And at this point in your meditation, if you can get to this stage, apparently you experience quite a lot of bliss. So but it's not really the main reason that you want to do that. But anyway, so what you'll see is now, look, the hair's disappeared, so that subtle torpor has disappeared, and the mind is controlled and pacified. So you can see now the monkey's not leading the elephant. The elephant is now being led by the monk. So the monk's kind of in control now, but there's still a little bit of dullness there, as you can see in the image. And then comes the power of diligence. So these stages are attained through the power of energetic perseverance or enthusiastic perseverance, which is one of the six perfections. So now the monkey leaves the elephant and squats behind the monk in complete submission. So you have complete control over your mind now at this point. And there are still traces of black on the elephant, which means that the subtlest sinking and scattering may continue to arise. In the eighth stage, the monkey disappears and the elephant is completely white. And this represents a single pointedness of mind. And then we have the power of perfection. So this is when all miraculous things can happen, perfect equanimity. So this is the path. As the path has ended, the elephant is now at rest at the monk's feet, and the upper part of the tanka represents the 10th and 11th stages, where the monk flies and has complete bliss, and he rides the elephant. That indicates, represents the attainment of shamatha. Riding the elephant across the rainbow, mental bliss. And the monk wields the flaming sword of perfect insight and rides along the rainbow. From his heart emanate two dark rainbows, which represents the karmic hindrances, mental illusion, and the obscurations of the instincts of mental distortion. So there you go. So we have a long way to go. So I'm showing you this because I don't want you to feel discouraged, because this is the kind of effort and concentration and focus and daily commitment that it takes to get to here. And I think in the West right now, with all the distractions that we have, it's very difficult to get to that, 10th and 11th, 9th, 10th and 11th stages. But we should be satisfied and happy even if we can get to these stages down the bottom there. So anyway, there you go. That's just something out of interest, and I hope that has interested you. This, yes, like I said, I did. I purchased a print of that tanka. Okay. Anyone have any questions from that? Oh, all right. Let's get started. Where do I put the thing? Okay, so what I want to do now is just introduce you to that 7-point sitting posture when I add a few things as well. So just settle into a nice, comfortable seated posture. I'm Katy, by the way, just in case you haven't read. So if you are not sitting in a cross-legged position, you're sitting at your desk on a chair with your feet down, have your feet about a hip's width apart. And feel the, pressure sensation of the feet on the floor or in your slippers, your shoes, your socks, whatever it is you're wearing. And then you may notice the sensation of the backs of the legs on your chair and your sits bones in your seat. Of course, if you're sitting cross-legged, you'll be aware of the weight of your legs on your feet. So now you have your hands in your lap, in the sitting posture that they recommend. Your right hand is nestled in the left with the thumbs touching. This is obviously to activate certain channels within the body. If that's not comfortable for you for some reason, you can just rest your hands on your lap. Now, it's really good to be aligned. And the reason to be aligned with, say, for example, your shoulders aligned with your hips and your ears aligned with your shoulders as best you can. So if you're sitting this way, they've found, the blood, the lymph, the breath, the energy is all going to be moving a little more easily than if you're just kind of lying around with your legs crossed in any old how. So the advanced meditators have found that this is an excellent way to sit to be able to concentrate. So then the position of the head, a little bit of length in the back of the neck. Not too much because you don't want your chin too far down on your chest, and you don't want your chin too high up, because if the chin is too high up, you're going to be feeling a bit of agitation in the mind. So keep your chin kind of level, length in the back of the neck. If there's constriction in the back of the neck, what happens is this kind of a agitation in the mind comes. So the eyes, you can have them open. If you have them open, just have them cracked open a tiny bit. And imagine you're looking at a spot on the floor through your computer screen or your phone or iPad or whatever you have, to a spot on the floor. And looking at a kind of a dristy gaze, like an unfocused gaze. You can have your eyes closed also, with looking down, as if they were open, you'd be looking at that spot as well. There is a position for the tongue, and it's up to you whether you want to use it, but they say just to put the tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. And apparently this helps to stop you from dribbling. If you ever get to meditate for more than about an hour or so, if you start to meditate for a very long time, and you're in retreat, and one of these long retreats, and like the monk in the tanka, even swallowing your saliva can be a distraction, can be disturbing for the mind. So the whole point is to keep the body as still as possible. So you want to be comfortable. So then you want to keep your body relaxed as well. So just for a moment, go to the crown of the head and just release any tension there at the crown. And relax your scalp. Just imagine you're, releasing all the little hair follicles. And relax your forehead and your eyebrows and eyeballs and the back of the eye, the eyelashes, the nose, and your cheeks, and the area around your mouth, and the back of the tongue, and the jaw. Just relax your jaw. And another way to do that also is to just relax inside your ears. Just release any tension in the ear. And relax the back of the head, particularly at the base of the skull, the occipital area. And relax your shoulders, allow shoulders to drop down and the shoulder blades to drop down. And then come to the front of the body and release any tension in your throat. Relax your chest, relax your belly, and then just relax your arms and hands, fingers, legs, feet, and your toes. So just this nicely stable, well aligned, well integrated, yet very relaxed body. So just for a moment now, focus on your breath. Notice the sensation of the air as you inhale and exhale through the nostrils. So you can focus on a spot at the base of the nose, the side of the nostrils, or the tip of the nose, depending how you've been trained previously, or even the shape of your nose. And then move down to your chest cavity. Most of us breathe into the top of the chest. But I want you to think about this whole cavity of this chest as being like, your lungs, they go from the clavicle here all the way down to the bottom rib. When you breathe out, imagine everything's expanding 360 degrees. When you breathe in, inhaling, the diaphragm drops, lungs expand, rib cage is expanding to the back, to the side, and as well as to the front. And when you exhale, everything just kind of comes in. Diaphragm comes back up, pushing out all that excess air, the used air. And you start again. So just for a moment, just experience inhaling through the nostrils, expanding your ribs, and then exhale. So be aware of any sound in your environment, any potential distractions, any notifications that might fly across your screen. Just be aware of all of this. These things could possibly distract you. And then you can say to yourself when they come, just allow it to be there. Try not to follow with the mind. And then just check in with your mind this evening. Why did you come? What were you hoping? What are you hoping for? And then how's your day been? Like where are you at this evening? And just remember, no matter where you are at, if you're totally distracted because something happened today that disturbed you, then it's completely fine. Just meet yourself where you are, and it will get better. So try not to judge the thoughts that are in your mind right now. Just allow them to arise and abide, and then try not to follow that story. And this is a little visualization I quite like. If you've got something that's kind of niggling your mind, something someone said to you, or some person really annoys you, or some action of some public figure did something to really annoy you, you can just pack all those thoughts up and put them in a little suitcase, a little carry-on, and put them on a plane and send that plane off. We'll say goodbye. So somehow we're going to detach ourselves from our stories. Or you could put your thoughts in a little bag and put them on a nice white fluffy cloud and just blow it away. And then try not to judge what's in your mind. It's okay. We all have things. Try and be objective about what's there. I just want you to have an experience of meditating now just for about 3 minutes. So just settle yourself back in. And just focus on your breath. And just notice if your mind is traveling at all. And just bring it back to the same place your body is. And just relax. So I'd like to do 9-round breathing. And I'm not sure if everyone's done this or experienced it or knows even what it is. Is this the way it was taught by Lama Yeshe, who's one of the founders of our organization. He's no longer alive, and he was a monk and extremely popular and very well loved by his students, who still cry when they talk about him. So it's like the mummy of the organization. So this particular meditation, called 9-round breathing or dispelling the airs, is an excellent meditation to ground yourself. If you've got something upsetting you, do this meditation, you'll find you'll come very quickly to a little bit more calm. All of a sudden you'll see things a little bit differently. But it's a preliminary meditation for the more esoteric practices that you may have heard about. Say, for example, these monks will do a 3-year retreat, and nuns will do a 3-year retreat, and then they do this test at the end where they go out into the snow with wet sheets, and they use the heat of their body to dry those wet sheets. But you have to start very, very basics. You have to get your mind under control. When you've got your mind under control, you can control the body. So they used to say that Lama Yeshe had the ability to control his heart. He had a very bad heart, and he was able to live, I think, a little bit longer than they were expecting. Anyway, so you start with this particular meditation. This meditation also includes color, but we're not going to do that at this point. Color and channels. So we're just going to stick to the basics right now. So imagine you take this top part of this right finger, very gently place it on your left nostril, just to close it. And then I'm opposite to you, by the way. And then you breathe in through that right nostril. Imagine you're breathing in through light through the right nostril. Nice, big, full breath. Pause at the top of the breath, and then exhale through the left, all of your dissatisfaction and kind of unhealthy attachment energy. And breathe in again through the right, light. Pause. Exhale through the left, all of your dissatisfaction and unhealthy attachment energy. And then again, breathe in through the right, light. Pause. Exhale through the left, all of your unhealthy attachments. And this leaves your left nostril as a thick, black, yucky smoke. It disappears into space. And then you start again, this time using the left finger, the top part of the left finger. Allow that to just close your right nostril, breathing in through the left. So you're doing some left brain, right brain cross patterning here as well. Breathing in through the left, light. Pause, exhale through the right, any anger, bitterness, grudges, disappointments, jealousy, anxiety, depression. You breathe that out as thick, black, yucky smoke. Then breathe in again, light through the left. Pause, exhale through the right, all of your anger. And one more time, breathe in through the left, light. Pause, exhale through the right, all of your anger energy. Now breathing in through both nostrils, light. Pausing at the top of the breath, exhaling all of your ignorance energy. So ignorance in this particular instance is not knowing how things truly exist, being ignorant of karma, cause and effect. So breathe that out as thick black yucky smoke. Ignorance causes confusion. So breathe all of it out. So breathe in again, light. Pause. Exhale through both nostrils, all of your confusion and ignorance. And again, breathing in light through both nostrils. Nice, steady breath. Pause. Exhale all of your ignorance and your confusion. So that is round one. We do 3 rounds, and that's the first of them. So we just repeat this again. Breathing in through the right nostril, light. Pause. Exhale through the left, all of your unhealthy attachment and dissatisfaction. Breathing in through the right, light. Pause. Exhale through the left, all of your dissatisfaction energy. And one more time, breathing in through the right, light. Pause. Exhale through the left, all of your dissatisfaction. Change hands, breathing in through the left nostril, light. Pause. Exhale through the right, all of your anger, bitterness, grudges. Breathing in through the left, light. Pause. Exhale through the right, all of your anger. And one more time, breathing in through the left, light. Pause. Exhale through the right, all of your anger energy. Now breathing in through both nostrils, light. Pause. Exhale all of your confusion and ignorance. Just let that go as thick black yucky smoke. And breathe in again, light. And pause. Exhale all of your ignorance. And one more time, breathing in light. Pause and exhale all of your ignorance. And the third round. Breathing in light through the right nostril. Pause. Exhale through the left all of your unhealthy attachment energy. Also not feeling like you're good enough for some reason. Just breathe that out. Breathe in again, light through the right. Pause, exhale through the left, all of your ignorance. Breathing again, light through the right. Pause, exhale through the left, all of your ignorance energy. Breathing in through the left nostril now, light. Nice, steady, slow breath, nothing forced here. And then pause, exhale through the right, all of your anger. Breathing in through the left, light. Pause, exhale through the right, all of your anger energy. Breathing in through the left, light. Pause, exhale through the right, all of your anger, bitterness, grudges. Now, resting both hands in your lap, breathing in through both nostrils, light. Pause, and then exhale through both nostrils, all of your ignorance energy, not knowing how things exist. Breathe that out as thick black yucky smoke. Get rid of all your confusion. Breathing in light. Pause, exhale all of your ignorance and confusion. And breathe in light. And pause, exhale all of your ignorance and your confusion. And now rest in meditation and imagine you've now cleaned the dust off the mirror of your wisdom and you have a beautiful, clear mind. So now we'll meditate just for 5 minutes. And if you notice your mind traveling, just very gently bring it back to the breath. The breath is your point of concentration. If you need an anchor, you can focus at a spot on the base of the nose if you wish. For some people, though, they may want to focus on the rising and the falling of the belly. So you can do that as well. Just the breath. Before I go on, does anyone have any questions, anything you'd like to share or ask? Just put your hand up or unmute yourselves if you can. Okay. Oh, Keela, did you want to say something? No? Okay. All right. I just want to go over that definition again. What is mindfulness? So it's kind of like allowing whatever we're thinking about to come fully, or noticing to come fully to your mind, fully into your conscious awareness. And so you have these 4 characteristics without forgetfulness. So you're able to engage with this object without forgetting it or losing sight of it. And like when you walk into a room and go, oh, what did I come in here for? I'm not like that. It depends on familiarity. So the strength of your mindfulness is dependent on how familiar we are with the object. So the greater the familiarity, the stronger the associations the mind has for the object. And the better our attention is able to stay mindful of the object. So maybe you can think of your partner, if you have a partner, or a loved one that you're thinking about often. You can be very, very mindful with someone you love. And then prevents distraction. So mindfulness serves to keep your attention from wandering away from its object. With certainty. So when you're mindful of an object, you fully attend to it and get to know it with a sense of certainty. So, excuse me, you're not attending half-heartedly or kind of absent-mindedly. So you can give your full attention to the object of mindfulness. And this can be sensations in the body, can be words of a loved one. So we actually already naturally possess this quality of mindfulness. We have to be mindful when we get in our car and drive on the freeway. We're mindful if we have a child that's, we know is not really focused on much, wants to play in the stream, but there's some danger, so you have to be mindful of that child. You're mindful of a little puppy, also a little bit uncoordinated. So we do have this natural ability to be mindful. It's not foreign to us at all. It's become very popular lately, and it's particularly associated with managing our reactions to stress and difficult emotions. And it's found to be helpful since a lot of our problems stem from mindless, habitual, and maladaptive reactivities to kind of negative thoughts towards ourselves as well. Some of these habits may have been helpful in the past, but they may not any longer serve us. So some of us cope with stressful situations by thinking about the future and planning ahead. And when this tendency becomes compulsive and persistent, we find it hard to stop, even when the planning and the thinking are no longer effective. So mindfulness can help us rechannel our attention to what is relevant and decouple our attention from these habitual reactions. So we're doing we'll do a meditation now, a body scan meditation. So here, we're going to be placing our hands on different parts of our body in a slow and mindful way, and to guide our attention back to our own body and to sense just the simple sensations there. So we need to remind ourselves to slow down and stay with each part of the body for a few breaths. And just allow the mind to fully focus on the bodily sensations and for the body to receive and respond to this kind of attention. And so, you are going to be distracted. So highlight in your mind the need to return your attention to the body to build familiarity and strength and mindful connection. Okay. If you're wearing glasses, you can take them off if you need to. You just listen. Oh, I mean, if they're on your face, but that's okay. On your head, you're going to need your head as well. So we're making use of the power of physical touch here to help us return mindfulness to our own body. So we're going to start by the crown. We're placing our hand on the crown. One of your hand, left or right, doesn't matter. So just close your eyes and allow the sense of touch to draw your attention there. Just notice any sensations at all. And just breathe there. Can you feel and notice the weight of your hand on your head? Feels quite nice. And maybe the warmth of the palm on your head. Then maybe you can feel the sensation of the hair in your palm, your scalp in your palm, and the warmth of the crown in the palm. Now bring your hands down and just place them very gently on your face. Are you tensing up any facial muscles here? Can you gently relax these muscles and let in a different feeling, one of softness and comfort to your face? So we already did an exercise earlier where we were relaxing the face, releasing any tension there. So maybe just do that again. Just relax the forehead and the eyes and the cheeks, the mouth. Just allow your face to relax. So now move your hands down to your neck. You can have one hand at the front, one hand at the back if you like. You can just feel the sensation of the neck in your palm, the front of the neck, the back of the neck, and then the warmth of your palm on your neck. So my neck's a little cold. Maybe you can feel your fingers. And now we're moving our hands to our shoulders. If this is available to you, just rest your left hand on your right shoulder. And just feel the weight of your hand. And you can hold your elbow up with the right hand if you wish. You can feel the warmth of the palm in the shoulder. Then bring your left hand down and just hold your elbow, your right elbow. And what sensations are you feeling now? Texture, temperature. Do you feel your elbow in your right hand or maybe just your fingers? Do you feel the palm of your right hand holding your elbow? Maybe the warmth. Bring your hand down to your right wrist, left hand down to right wrist. So just hold your wrist. And what do you feel there? What sensations are there? Now place one hand on top of the other, left hand on top of the right. What do you feel? And then change hands. Change arm. Place your right arm on top of the left shoulder. Just bring your attention to your hand on your left shoulder. And breathe. What do you feel there? What sensations do you experience? Keep your attention there. And then draw your right hand down to your left elbow and just hold it. What do you feel? Bringing your right hand now to your left wrist. And just wrap your hand around your wrist. Feel the sensation of your palm holding your wrist. Feel the sensation of your wrist in your palm. And just rest your hand on your knees and place your right hand on top of your left, on the top of the back of the left hand. And just feel the sensations there. Feel the sensation of the palm, this pressure and weight on your left hand. And then feel in the left hand, feel the sensation of the palm. And then on the right hand, feel the sensation of the back of the skin of the back of the left hand in your palm. There's probably some warmth there. Now come back to your chest. Place both hands over your heart center. So you can have your left hand on your heart and then the right hand on top of the left. And what can you sense here? Can you feel your heart beating? Do you feel the rhythm of your breath? So what other sensations can you feel here? So we'll just breathe here for about, 4 or 5 breaths. Focusing on the sensations of the hands, the sensations of your breath, and the beating of your heart. Bring your hands down now to your belly, your abdomen, and just rest them there so you can really feel the sensations both at the surface and then deep within your abdominal cavity. You may not be able to feel that. Just feel the sensation of your hands on your belly. And then just kind of, if you can, just place your hands on the pelvic bone. Feel the weight of your pelvis on its physical support on your seat. See if you can release the weight so that your pelvis can rest comfortably there. Now slide your hands onto the top of your quads, your thighs, and just allow them to rest there. And what do you feel? Excuse me. Maybe you feel pressure and warmth. And then you move your hands down to your kneecaps. Just rest each palm on each kneecap. And just attend to the sensations at the knees. So you can just sit back up if you want and rest your hands in your lap and send the sensation or send your attention down to the lower leg and then the soles of the feet. And go back to sensing the pressure, the warmth, the texture. Feel the sensations on the top of the foot and in your toes. And having activated all these sensations into our awareness, can you rest both legs on the ground, on your chair, and release their weight into gravity? So just allow yourself to settle comfortably back into meditation for a minute or two, focusing back on the breath. So just relax for a moment. Maybe if you need to have a stretch, go ahead and do that. Maybe circle your ankles. I don't know if you want to Stretch up, lean over, stretch up both arms. Imagine you're picking fruit, something like that. You can maybe just very gently twist. You can use your chair just to twist. Make sure if you've got lower back issues that you don't hurt yourself. Just be very careful. Be mindful. Okay. There's this thing I like to do. It's a little bit difficult. You've got earbuds in, but so first of all, this is just to sort of give you guys a break. First of all, look to the right and just take in what you can with your peripheral vision. Just notice what you're seeing, particularly on the right side. Bring your head back to the center and then turn your head to the left and do the same thing. Just see what you can bring into your attention. What are you noticing on the left side? So then what you do is you just kind of like pull your ears, massage your ears, stick your fingers in your ear. I can't because I've got these headphones in, but really give them a good old pull and a massage. Massage all around this area. Pull the ears up, pull the ears to the side. Someone's puppy's getting very excited about this. Okay. But really massage your ears, really play with them and pull them. Okay, now turn your head to the right. So for me, that's made quite a bit of difference, even though I wasn't really even doing it because I couldn't because I've got these earbuds in. So, and then come back to the center, then turn your head to the left and just notice what's there. So if you're feeling tense, you can actually do that little exercise quite quietly, and then you'll release a little bit of tension in the neck. So far what we've done is we have looked a little bit about that path of concentration. We've talked about a little bit about what mindfulness is. We've done we've learned how to sit. We've done some concentration meditation and 9-round breathing and more concentration meditation and this attending to the bodily sensations. So there's one more meditation to do for this session. And the next one is going to be more mental. It'll be like scanning the body. But I just wanted to let you know what we'll be doing for the next 4 sessions after this one. So session 2, we look at mindfulness and introspection. We're going to work with distraction and dullness. And we'll do a little bit of breath meditation. Session 3, we're going to be working a little bit more with our thoughts and learning to be a little bit more discerning. Session 4, we're going to be looking more at, so session 3, we're kind of becoming more aware of what kinds of thoughts we do have in the mind. Session 4, we'll be looking at more functional thinking, which is kind of brings you a little bit more into analytical meditation. And then session 5, we'll be doing more analytical meditation. So that's just basically a very brief outline. And I wanted to know if anyone has any questions or is there anything you want to share before we do the last meditation. Yes, Anthony.
I just want to ask, when you say the object, and I've heard it mentioned before, is it just like the sensation? And I think you touched on it briefly at the beginning, kind of like sight, taste, touch, or is there something else to it?
So the object can be it's something you're going to anchor yourself onto as a concept to help you with concentration. So the object of concentration can be the breath.
Okay.
The object of concentration can be, that painting behind you. The object of concentration can also be a visualization. Or in this case, our object of concentration in the last meditation was paying attention to the sensations of the body. Is that what you were asking?
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to, and that's what I thought it was. I just wanted to make sure I was on the right track.
Yeah, you were definitely on the right track.
Awesome. Thank
Most
you.
definitely. Yes. And it gets clearer and clearer as you go along. Anybody else have anything else they want to ask or share? Nothing?
Venerable,
Nim
I was
and
curious about maybe the sense of smell, or if or am I just going too far?
what about the sense of smell, Sheila?
I'm wondering if that could the sense of smell could be, an object
Oh,
of
absolutely, it can be. But you would have to be smelling something though, I think. Otherwise you're
like
just coming
maybe
back to the
orange or
otherwise you're just
something.
coming yeah, otherwise you're just coming back to the breath.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's an olfactory sense. So, I guess we can use anything as an object of concentration. But then what it comes down to is how beneficial is that? Because you can use the person that you don't like at all as your object of concentration. And that's not terribly virtuous because all you're doing is feeding back into yourself angry thoughts, which don't really serve you. So thieves need mindfulness, as they say, but they're not doing anything particularly helpful because they're stealing stuff. Anyway, any other questions? We've got like about 20, 23, 24 minutes left. Okay, let's continue. We'll just do the body scan meditation. I hope you're not getting too tired. Is everyone doing okay? Everyone's okay? Nima and Afisha are over there in Bali. Must be very early in the morning there. Okay, all right. Okay, go back to your meditation posture. Sometimes I remember many years ago, I think my first meditation experience, apart from when I was 14 and doing yoga at school, I I was kind of involved with the Theravada Vipassana group. And I wasn't ordained at that time. And I was experiencing I would do these 10-day courses. They were really quite tough. You kind of sit there for, an hour at a time. You're not supposed to move. And really, really kind of requiring a lot of discipline. So I had some experiences which were a little bit, out of my realm of what I thought was normal. And so one of the teachers, and I was getting kind of tired, sometimes I get nauseous. And one of the teachers said, well, you can just lie down. So, you can actually you can do some of these meditations lying down. And in fact, if you ever experience a yoga nidra, that's what you do. It's something to help you sleep. But the purpose of meditation actually isn't to get to sleep. The purpose of meditation is to help you focus and clarify and clean out your mind. You have a nice, clear, bright mind. But one of the side effects is that you might sleep better. Okay, so anyway, I'm just saying you can, if you need to lie down, you can. If you have pain or you're not well. So again, go back to check your meditation posture. Align your shoulders with your hips, your ears with your shoulders, and just lengthen your spine. You can have your hands resting on the arms of your chair or in your lap. Just allow your shoulders to relax. And you can have your eyes open or closed. Probably at this point of our practice, it's probably easier for you to have your eyes closed. And just return your attention to your body and just be in tune with the simple sensations there. And just settle yourself into meditation again. Focus the mind on the breath for a moment. So now bring your attention to the crown again. Without using your hands, just bring your attention there. What do you notice? Maybe you can feel a little bit of tingling, feeling of slight pressure, warmth, or coolness, or maybe nothing, which is also fine. Maybe there's nothing there. But see if you can bring your whole focus, make that toppermost part of the head, the crown, your object of concentration just for this moment. Now move your attention down to your face and notice the sensations there. And are you tensing up any facial muscles? So just if you are, just relax them, release them. Relax the forehead and the eyebrows and the eyeballs, the nose and the cheeks, the mouth, the throat. And just allow your shoulders and shoulder blades to drop down. Come back to your face. Is your jaw relaxed? If it's not, imagine releasing the back of the tongue. Release the ears and the inner ears. Can you very gently relax these muscles and let in a different feeling, one of softness and ease and comfort, into your face? And then just invite your attention to come back to the body and the neck and the throat. And just notice the sensations there. Maybe you can remember how it felt when your hands were there. Now move down to your shoulders. How are your shoulders feeling today? If you notice any tension or uncomfortable feelings here or anywhere else, can you just simply acknowledge them for the moment? Maybe don't feel you need to change anything immediately for the better. Just let them be. Just allow your attention to flow down both arms at the same time. And notice the simple sensations at your upper arms. Your elbows, your forearms, Now bring your attention to your hands, palms, back of the hands, and in your fingers. And so, having activated all of these sensations into your awareness, can you rest both arms and hands on their physical support and release their weight to gravity? So, if you have an armchair, just see if you can just allow your arms to relax on your armchair. You can also do it in your lap as well. Now bring your attention back to your chest, to your heart center. What you find here. Do you feel the breath? Do you feel the beating of your heart? As you notice your natural exhale, can you take this opportunity to release, allowing anything unhelpful or unwanted just to sort of float away with the out-breath? So you can have a longer exhale than inhale. Just releasing anything unhelpful or unwanted. Now bring your attention to your abdomen. Can you rest your attention within your own body at the level of your navel and feel the sensations there? Now bring your attention down to the base of the spine. Can you feel sensation there? Feel the weight of your pelvis on its physical support. And see if you can release that weight so your pelvis can rest comfortably. So allow your attention to flow down both legs at the same time and notice the simple sensations at both hip joints. The quads, the thighs, and your knees. The lower legs, and then your feet. And so again, Feel the sensations at the soles of the feet. Pressure and warmth, texture. Feel the sensation at the tops of the feet and your toes. And having activated all these sensations into awareness, can we rest both legs on the ground on your support and release their weight into gravity? So just rest your body in this posture and allow it to settle and be comfortable there. And rest your attention here with your body and your breath. Each time you notice yourself exhaling, see if you can use it to deepen the sensation of release. And maybe think about releasing anything unhelpful or unwanted. And just release yourselves deeper into the present, here and now, into your meditation. So we'll meditate for a few more minutes before we close. And now just feel the sensation of the weight of your feet on the floor, the weight of your sits bones in your chair, or the weight of your feet underneath your legs if you're in a cross-legged position. Feel the weight of your hands in your lap or on your chair, armchair. And see if you can bring your mind back to the same place your body is. Now just very gently crack open your eyes just to allow a little bit of light in. And again, staring through your keyboard as if you're looking at a spot on the floor ahead of you in a kind of an unfocused gaze. And then when you feel ready, you can just open your eyes. Everybody, we're almost at the end of the session, and I wanted to know if anybody had any more questions or anything you wanted to share. You're very quiet, you people. Anything at all. Yes, Robbie. Yay.
So I'm just trying to clear it up for myself. These are good. Like, are these good techniques to get settled in before like concentration or like meditation on like analytical or just like in general or just a good techniques?
Every time you meditate, it's a really good idea to settle your body in that same way. Yes. Because if you just plonk yourself down and close your eyes and start thinking, it's not going to be quite the same as if you sort of prepare yourself. It's almost like you have to warm up before you go to any stretching. Like if you do yoga, it's a good idea. If you do dance, it's a good idea to warm up before you start moving. So it's almost like you need to kind of warm yourself up, or just to kind of calm yourself down before you start meditating. You'll be less distracted. The 9 round breathing actually only I went through it a bit kind of more with more explanation, but you can do that meditation in like 5 minutes. And it's a really great thing to do before you start any kind of single pointed concentration, analytical meditation. So, there's basically 3 kinds of meditation you can do. There's concentration and analysis, analytical meditation, and visualization meditation. So visualization is, maybe we can do a bit of that next week. I can just do a very simple, it's called body of light, where you'll get to experience visualizing. So today we did a bit of analysis, analytical meditation. We've done some concentration as well. And I guess visualization, because you had to imagine those body parts, right? So, yeah. So, I mean, you can experiment as well. This is which is why what I do when we first start, settling the body into meditation is a sensible thing to do. But then I get everybody just to focus on their breath and close their eyes and meditate. And then after you do the 9 round breathing, just see where you're at and maybe compare the two. You'll probably find you're a little bit deeper in your concentration and your meditation than when you first started. So it just takes a little bit of time to get into it. Yeah. Yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
Okay, my pleasure. Okay, we got 1 minute left, you guys. I think it's always good to, we didn't really motivate, but it's always very good to dedicate any practice in this Buddhist tradition. I'm just assuming you've come through the Thupten Nobuling, which is a Buddhist center, that you have some interest in it. But so you kind of would, at the end, you would just kind of, it's like 2 bookends. You would just dedicate any insights that you've had today, any kind of positive energy to be of benefit to all the sentient beings and, of course, to yourself. So I think this is done in many different traditions as well, not just in Buddhism. So I want to wish you all lots of love, a very good evening, Happy New Year. Shayla, thank you for hosting. Shayla has to do another host in about half an hour. I'm going to go off and have some dinner, and I will see some of you later because some of you are in the Vajrasattva meditation class. Okay, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed that. I will see you next week for session 2.